Retired Lieutenant General Winston Sikauke Maporanka has hinted that the removal of retired General Chiwenga, it is quite known, would be too dangerous for the survival of Emerson Mnangagwa regime, as he underscores that Chiwenga has been betrayed by Emerson Mnangagwa for several times. But the man has managed to politically survive. Greetings and welcome to the channel, the Kloripani Global News. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So this is what retired Lieutenant General Winston Sikauke Maporanka wrote. He said, he gave Mnangagwa everything and received nothing worth having in return. General Constantino Chiwenga is the most consequential man in modern Zimbabwe history, who has been most comprehensively betrayed by the beneficiary of his sacrifice. What he is living now is not a vice presidency. It is a giggled cage. I want to speak today about a man I have watched from a distance with respect for what he did and with deep concern for what has been done to him since General Constantino Kuveya Dominic Chiwenga is, by any honest measure, the architect of the political order that governs Zimbabwe today. Without him, there is no November 2017. Without November 2017, there is no President Emerson Mnangagwa. This is not a controversial statement. It is the plainest fact of recent Zimbabwe political history, acknowledged by everyone, including the men who benefited most from it. If you observe General Chiwenga's position today, his actual authority, his real influence over state decisions, his standing within the structures of power he helped to create, what you see is a man who has been systematically, deliberately, and I would argue calculatedly reduced, not removed. Removal would be too obvious, too dangerous, too politically costly. What has been done to General Chiwenga is more sophisticated than removal. He has been decorated and diminished simultaneously. Let us remind ourselves of what General Chiwenga risked in November 2017. He was the commander of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, the most powerful military position in the country. He had a career, an institution, a legacy, a personal safety to protect. When he stepped out of that role, led Operation Restore Legacy, he staked all of it on one outcome, that Mnangagwa would be the man to lead Zimbabwe forward, and that the arrangement between them would be honored. He did not act alone. Of course, the operation was institutional, but the face, the voice, the personal risk, that was General Chiwenga. He was the one who stood before the cameras. He was the one who put his name and his rank on what happened. In any honest accounting of November 2017, the entry should read General Chiwenga delivered. Mnangagwa received. What was the understanding between them? I'm not privy to private conversations, but in politics, and especially in military politics, there are understandings that do not require documents. When a general risks his career, his freedom, and potentially his life to install a politician, the reasonable explanation is not a ceremonial title or a security detail. The reasonable expectation is genuine partnership, genuine power sharing, a seat at the table that is real, not decorative. What General Chiwenga has received is the decoration without the substance. The title of vice president, the motorcades, the protocol, the international travel, with delegations so large they attract commentary on their own. And behind all of it, a man who has been surrounded by structures specifically designed to ensure that his influence over the presidency he made possible remains permanently limited. You do not neutralize a threat by confronting it. You neutralize it by surrounding it with noise, comfort, and appearance of importance, while quietly ensuring it touches nothing that matters. I want to be precise about what I mean by marginalization, because the word can sound vague. I'm not speaking about personal slights or ceremonial oversights. I am speaking about a deliberate and systematic political architecture. Consider in the years since November 2017, the loyalist network around the presidency has been built, expanded, and fortified in ways that specifically counterbalance General Chiwenga's institutional base. New affiliates for ED have been cultivated, new power centers created. The inner circle around Mnangagwa has been constructed to ensure that no single figure, and certainly not the figure who holds the most legitimate claim to political debt, can accumulate enough influence to become a genuine constraint on presidential authority. Even political system has its center of gravity. In Zimbabwe today, the center of gravity has been deliberately engineered to exclude the men without whom it would not exist. This is not accident, this is architecture, and it has been built patiently, brick by brick, appointment by appointment, over 7 years. The affiliates multiplied, the loyalists were rewarded, the people who owed Chiwenga, General Chiwenga nothing, were elevated into positions that owed Mnangagwa everything. And through all of this, General Chiwenga has washed older, less physically robust than he was in 2017. His health having been publicly tested in ways that further complicated his political standing, as the system he helped create was systematically shaped to contain him. Here I want to address what I have observed with my own eyes and what others across Zimbabwe have noted with increasing frankness in private conversations: the pattern of what I will call compensation prizes. When you cannot give a man what he is owed, real power, real influence, real partnership, you give him substitutes designed to resemble importance while delivering none. You give him the international travel, the expensive touring groups, the protocol that signals status without conferring authority. You ensure he is seen, that he appears to be appearing at the highest levels, that the outward performance of power continues while the actual levers of power remain firmly elsewhere. I say this not to demean the vice president. I say it because I recognize the pattern. I have seen it before in the institutional context. When an organization wants to sideline someone it cannot remove, it elevates the performance of their role while hollowing out its substance. The office remains, the functions disappears. What concerns me the most is not the travel or the protocol. What concerns me is what those things represent. A government that believes it can satisfy a historical debt with appearance. That believes the men who made the presidents possible will accept the theater of power as a substitute for its reality. This is a dangerous miscalculation politically, institutionally, and historically. A man of Chiwenga's standing and history does not forget what he is owed, and neither does history. That is Lieutenant General Winston Sikauke, Mapranka. He continues to underscore how Chiwenga has been betrayed by Emerson Mnangagwa and the tactics that has been used to neutralize him, but also underscoring that they should do so understanding that he is not an easy man for that to be done, especially around him. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Mnangagwa Mhlabane is signing off. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet you on the other side of the live broadcast as I give you more.